Want to win one of these bumpers?
Hey, I want to win one of the bumpers.
You're not eligible? Stay tuned till after this video and learn how you can win a Gamma bumper of your very own. In this week's episode of Uinta Garage, we partnered with Shane from 4.by.Design to introduce his new Gamma bumper kit.
The Gamma bumper kit. This thing has recovery points, it's got a winch mount, it's got everything you need in a front bumper. So we've got our bumper kit laid out here. We decided to lay it out to show you guys. It's a really complete kit. It comes with the top, it comes with a winch mount, and it comes with a shackle holder that you can weld on. You've got your bumper mounts up there and the instructions. We got these online. He emailed these instructions to us. They're very detailed.
Now remember, this might seem a little intimidating, especially if you're a little newer to welding. These instructions are very detailed. It will help you through this process, and honestly, just burn it in.
While Chris and Joey got to work removing the old stock bumper off our Jimmy, Eric and I poured over the detailed instructions to start putting together the Gamma bumper kit. At one point, we thought that we had discovered an issue with the triangular supports for the winch mounts, but after double checking the instructions, we realized that we were just putting them on wrong. Luckily, the instructions are very thorough, so we were able to resolve the problem quickly and move on to some welding.
When you're putting something like this together, take your measuring tape and use it. Make sure that everything is square. It'll make the entire bumper assembly go together much better because there is wiggle room in all of this. In addition to that, you only want to tack stuff on until you fit it up on the truck. These trucks are old.
Once we've got the triangular supports tacked in place, it was time to move on to step 4, which was to fit the top plates. Now, we don't recommend welding without a helmet, but at least Eric knows to close his eyes first. Some of the tabs and slots are going to need a little work in order to fit together correctly. Eric elected to vigorously file down the slots using a technique that he perfected as a young man. Using a grinder on the tabs will also work.
So this is the top of your bumper. The reason we beveled the edges that we just showed you is so you can lay the weld down in the bevel, because you want this top of the bumper to be nice and smooth. So when you bevel it, you still get a full strength weld and you can grind the weld flush.
As Eric finishes up the tack welding for step 4, we need to pause for a second to help the other guys finish removing the stock bumper. We need to get that out of the way before we can test fit the new Gamma bumper.
First step in installing a new bumper is removing the old bumper. Ah, now that's satisfying.
With the old bumper fully removed, we started on steps 5 and 6, which are welding on the main plank gussets and winch mounts.
In the assembly of the 4.by.Design bumper, it has winch mounting plates. Now a winch mounting area is 4.5 inches by 10 inches. So this has a little bit of wiggle room in there. You need to measure this and make sure that you're 10 inches center to center, or else mounting a winch is going to be extremely difficult.
As Chris finished prepping the frame plates for step 7, Joey noticed a problem.
What is this? Jiffy? Is this on backwards?
This is why you tack weld, boys and girls, because we've got to take the whole bumper apart, because I'm an idiot and I put the front plate on backwards, and we want this to actually be letters instead of Russian.
While Eric and Joey undid and redid all of the work we had finished up to this point, Chris and I went on a food run. Once everyone was back, fed, and done giving Eric crap for his screw up, we got back to work where we left off. Once the frame plates are tacked on, we double check to make sure we had good solid tacks everywhere else before lifting the bumper up for a final test fit.
So now we've got the main part of this bumper tacked together. The next important step is to go ahead and hold it up to the vehicle. We're gonna try and test fit it as close as we can and see what other adjustments or cuts we need to make before we add the rest of this. Okay, so as you can see right here, obviously you have to cut these fangs off. So take your blue fabrication Sharpie and mark the fangs right about where you want to cut them, okay? We're gonna go just a hair higher. We're gonna know to cut that and bring it over here. Go ahead and give that a slice right here. We're gonna go ahead and cut these off and then we'll come back and finish fitting the bumper.
And then do the same thing on the inside. Feel that now. Joey, we had to cut the fenders on this Jimmy. How far did we cut them?
So on this particular Jimmy, it's a late 80s, we went 3 5/8 inches down from the turn signal. If you look at it from the bottom, it's perfectly flush with where the wheel well bolts to the radiator support.
So actually a really simple cut.
Very simple cut.
When you're fitting a bumper, you need to look at everything, where it sits on the body, where it sits in the middle, and look and stuff and see if you have a problem. Now we have a problem. If you look here, we've got a gap between the fender and the edge of the bumper here. You come over to this side and there's no gap. And that's why we test fit stuff. So we're gonna try and come up with a solution to make the body fit the bumper. The bumper is perfectly square. The bumper's centered on the truck. There's no problems with the bumper. We're gonna try and figure out how to make a 30-plus-year-old truck square again.
After some careful measurements, it became obvious that our Jimmy had been in an accident at some point, and the whole front clip had shifted. This is why there was a bigger gap between the fender and the bumper on the driver's side than there was on the passenger side. In order to fix the problem, we had to loosen the core support mounts, then use a ratchet strap and some muscle power, and then we were able to move the whole body over the 1/4 inch that we needed. With that done, the bumper fit perfectly, so we went ahead and tightened the front mounts back down and got on with the rest of the bumper build.
Clamp the top to this nice flat edge. It helps keep it straighter. Leave it clamped while you're welding if you want to guarantee a nice straight flat bumper.
You need to weld in small sections here, here, and here, allowing it to cool in between. If you just blast one side of the bumper, it's gonna end up warping really bad. You don't wanna do that.
In the instructions, it tells you how to weld it, it tells you where to weld it, and it tells you to leave cool down periods. We're taking a break because we're letting the thing cool down. It's still hot enough over here and over here, you can't hardly touch it, to prevent any warpage. You want the bumper straight, you want it nice.
Warping, you can't fix, so definitely take your time on this. We're getting ready to mount these shackle plates onto the bumper. And what we've done here is we've beveled the edge of every shackle plate. And then in order to get them all to line up just perfect, like this, perfectly, what we've done is we've taken an 11/16 socket and done one wrap of electrical tape around it, stuck that through all of the shackle plates, and then we use these clamps to hold them real tight together. That way, as we burn them in, they're not going to move at all.
With the shackle plates welded on, the bumper is complete. With a little work with the grinders to get it looking its best, you can really see the beauty of this 4.by.Design Gamma bumper kit. Be sure to follow 4.by.Design on Instagram so you can find out how to order a bumper kit of your own.
Well, here it is, the 4.by.Design Gamma bumper. Really clean, great design. You know, we ran into a couple of little small snags. The first one was this front plate here that this lovely gentleman accidentally put on backwards, so we had to disassemble.
Not a snag.
Not a snag? All
Not
right,
a snag.
not a snag.
Little small mistake. Didn't take hardly any time to fix. What do you think about it, Joey?
I like the bumper. I mean, it's really strong. You've got your winch mount built right into it. It's a sleek design, very close to the body. I think it's going to help a lot with approach angles.
Yeah, definitely, especially over here on the sides, it's going to help a ton.
Now, this is definitely a you know, do-it-yourself bumper from home. We just use that 110 welder over there. Nothing real high-tech or fancy. Definitely some grinding. You can get away with some ugly welds if you're a great grinder. Remember that.
Get some good abrasives because you want to get that nice finish up on the front.
So all in all, I'd say 2 guys, half a day. You
Yeah,
could probably get this done.
Yep.
The instructions were mostly complete on this. There's a couple things that were left off. For instance, you need to cut the fangs on the front of the bumper, or the front of the
truck.
blazer. It's not called out. It's very obvious. As soon as you get the bumper in there, you absolutely have to cut that off.
Yeah, I would recommend test fitting it more than he has in the instructions also. We ran into a problem with test fitting it. This blazer behind us, this Jimmy behind us, has been in a small accident. We ended up having to move the body mount over in order to center the bumper up and make it look nice. So you need to test fit. But the one thing the instructions did an absolutely spectacular job of is tell you how to weld it so that you don't warp it. So yeah, it was a great bumper, easy to put together, great product.
Like we mentioned at the beginning of this video, you can actually win a Gamma bumper of your own. Let's go over the really simple rules.
You can win.
Yep, you can win it. Rule number 1, you must follow Uinta Garage and 4.by.Design on Instagram.
You need to like and subscribe to Uinta Garage on YouTube.
And lastly, you need to comment on this video and let us know that you want to win one of these awesome bumpers.
So Chris, we got the bumper on. What do you think?
I am excited to try out the new approach angles. This thing is a lot slimmer and I think it's gonna get some good use.
A lot better approach angles. Got toe points in the front now that aren't gonna get buried every time you hit the ground.
Yeah, I don't have to dig through the snow to get to my toe points no more.
Winch mount, whole 9 yards.
Let's be honest here, it's a lot sleeker than it was before too. I bet he picks up 5 miles per gallon. Hey Ryan, hand me the ratchet, please. Here. Ryan, ratchet. Ah, freaking useless.
Hit that notification bell. Subscribe to Uinta Garage. Enjoy your day.
Well, here it is, the 4.by.Design Gamma bumper.
Oh, Gamma bumper!
All right, let's go again. A little less over the top, guys.
Okay. Like Chewbacca's doing it. Stay tuned. Want to win? Whoa. Whoa! Want to win a bumper?
You can't do it, huh?
I can't do it. I just hit puberty.
I was gonna say,
Want to win a bumper?
Measure twice, Measure 3 times. That was dumb, but